Jo, und jetzt stehe ich natürlich hier schon bei Ibanez und eine der wichtigsten Gitarren, die natürlich Ibanez schon seit Jahr oder Jahrzehnten im Programm hat, ist die Jam von Steve Vai, klar. So, how does it sound to hear like German language here?
No, I understood every word of that. That's
Really?
No.
No, okay. Okay, ich habe hier Ken. So you're Ken, you're a product specialist for Ibanez guitars.
Yes, yes.
And so what's new for NAMM here?
Well, the big thing is the signature instruments. And, you know, we've always done a lot of work with Steve Vai. Steve Vai is one of those artists, and we have a number of artists like that who are just constantly changing and tweaking their instruments. Like, it's almost part of what they do. Yeah. And so as they're, you know, to support that, we're constantly also trying to change and follow what they're doing and offer those to the consumer.
Yeah. Okay, so, I mean, he really pretty much invented the guitar. I mean, that design, the jam.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah.
With Ibanez together.
Yeah, he worked with Ibanez to create that. And there's so many aspects to that I think we kind of take for granted now. But, you know, like mixing up the humbuckers and single coils and to demand a tremolo that could, you know, just go to a fifth, you know, without any problem at all. All those things really trace back to him. So, you know, he did the jam, and then from that, apparently the story goes he was in a meeting and he was looking at an 8-string guitar. This is going all the way back. Somebody had created an 8-string guitar just for fun, one of the Luthers. He said, oh, what is that? There's no way to ever play that. But he messed around with it a little bit, and he said, yeah, what about 7 strings? And they made him one, and he pulled it out and he kind of played with it, and he said, oh, well, I don't know what I've got myself into. But he took it home and he kept working with it, and he felt like, yeah, I'm on to something here. This is absolutely what I want to do. So that's where the universe was really, can you make me a gem that has 7 strings? And that's how the universe was born.
Okay, so we have it here. New for 2015?
New for 2015. Yeah, so this is a premium model. They're doing absolutely amazing work. And again, these have Steve's pickups, humbucker, single coil humbucker. We have I can remember.
The flower pattern returns, huh?
And the flower pedal returns. Yeah, exactly. With a maple neck. That's kind of been out of circulation for a little while. There was still a demand for that, so we brought it back as a premium model.
Yeah. And here we have the made in Japan model here.
And this is exactly. This is a prestige model. This is very similar to what Steve himself plays.
The most famous jams ever.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
And here we have so at the entry level here.
Yes. This actually pretty much from the gem is one of the most counterfeited instruments in the entire world, and we often have people coming back to us maybe hoping to get warranty work, repair work or something, and we have to tell them we didn't make that. That's not an Ibanez. And so we know that there's people who want the gem experience but maybe can't afford a $4,000 instrument. So we really looked at designing a gem that is still a gem that still has all of the, you know, that animated playability of a gem, but is affordable. So that's where the Gem JR comes from, is to try to create the most affordable possible gem and still have it be a gem.
So Paul Stanley returned to Ibanez.
Paul Stanley is back with Ibanez.
Is back with Ibanez.
Back home again. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. We're really, really excited to have him back. And
so one of his really most famous guitars here, the cracked mirror.
I think it's one of the most famous guitars in rock and roll.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. So the cracked mirror guitar really comes with like this. The story on that apparently was he had the idea to do the cracked mirror and kind of played with it maybe himself a little bit, but it's very hard to crack a mirror properly and then put it back together.
Put it back together, yeah.
It takes a lot of skill. So it all has to be done by hand, and it all has to be done very carefully. I think we're now using acrylic mirrors, which are easier to work with, which they didn't have back then. but it's still, it has to be done carefully and it takes time to do.
Okay, so it's all made by hand. That means every guitar is a little bit different.
I hope not.
Okay. So here we have the black one here.
Yeah, the black one here, the PS10. That is also one that he's well known for, and that's built in our Prestige factory. We have Seymour Duncans front and back, medium frets, abalone inlay, and you can even see his trademark
Paul Stanley
inlay. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and of course we have lower price models here.
Right, and then we go down. I mean, we know the KISS Army is big, and that there's a lot of different price points, and we think a lot of people are gonna want these. So this one goes down to roughly in the $1,000 range, and still absolutely amazing guitar. You know, completely with the bound abalone work, and very, very actually having many similar characteristics to the more expensive models.
Yeah, sure. And at last we have the most affordable thing here.
The absolutely most affordable one has many of the same characteristics, but not as high a spec.
Yeah, sure.
So you know, again, we know like there's a lot of different desires.
Yeah. But it's good to have him back, is it?
Absolutely. It's really, really thrilling.
Okay, so we have a new model here for Paul Wagner.
Paul Wagner's been with us for a little while, and we've been working on a signature model with him for quite a while, and I think finally we got what he was looking for. So this is basically working off of our S-Series model.
Yeah, so like a Sabre model?
Yes, but what he did, rather than mahogany, he went to swamp ash. Swamp ash is a little bit more dense. So this is a little bit more heavy than the regular S-Series model. The body is also a little bigger. He believes it gives him a little more density of tone.
Yeah.
So then beyond that, he has his favorite pickups. His favorite pickups are made by I believe the company is located in North Carolina, Mojo Tone.
Okay.
And so these are humbuckers, but to hear him describe them, it's almost as if they're humbuckers that have just a little taste of single coil to them. He's very influenced by, you know, the '90s band, the Seattle scene. That's kind of like where he came up, and then he explored jazz and all that before he kind of headed into his own heavy prog era. And I think in terms of tone, he still likes to have a little bit of that definition to a humbucker sound, and that's the Mojo Tones are definitely.
So to clear it up a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the Iron Label series is not only black anymore.
The Iron Label series is doing all kinds of different things for different needs. But I think one of the most exciting, at least to me, one of the most exciting things. I always love the idea of through neck construction.
Yeah, really.
It absolutely makes sense, and I can hear it. You know, if I pick one up and play it, the sustain is absolutely massive. As a matter of fact, let's take a look. Everybody can see what we're talking about.
It's a real neck through construction.
Yeah, neck through construction, and then you can see ash wings off to the side. You know, these are very, very heavy woods. I believe maple and babinga on the through neck, ash to the side, so you need a lighter weight wood to counterbalance it.
Yeah. That means there's nothing in between the string here, yeah? So you have the machine heads here.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Nothing in between.
Just one single line. Yeah. But you have EMG pickups. You have go-to tuners. We also have the kill switch, as we have on many of the iron.
Okay, so we have the 6th string here, we have the 7th string here, and of course we have the 8th string here.
Got the 8th string. Ibanez is always on the lead on the 8th string. It really comes out of us being masters of making the thin neck. At the point that we created the Wizard neck, that ability to create a reliable but very, very thin neck has served us well as we've gone to 7 strings and 8 strings, because if you try to make an 8 string, 8 strings is so much tension, and if you try to just make that with sort of a very conventional approach, you end up basically with a baseball bat. I mean, you could not get your hands around that, and so the accomplishment with the Ibanez 8 string is really the thinness of the neck, the playability, and that's.
So it's not that. Yeah. So it's not that far from a bass guitar, is it?
No. It's, if you think about like Tosin Abasi's band, right? They don't need a bass player. They got 2 8-string players, right?
Okay. So again, we have different colors here.
Yeah, we have some different
different woods here.
Different woods, exactly. In all cases, with this whole line of guitars, we're looking at a mahogany body with a rosewood top. Obviously, mahogany being a little bit lighter, the rosewood very, very heavy.
So it's a very interesting combination.
Yeah, I think so. And it's got its own sort of tonal characteristics as well.
Okay, so we have the rosewood on top here, and the mahogany on the back here.
Yes.
And of course, we have a 6-string here and a 7-string. And the 8-string.
6-string, 7-string, and we're also doing a lot of hardtails as well. Some people just don't even want to do the tremolo anymore.
Yeah. I mean, so it's always
keep it simple.
Yeah. So it's always a question to have a hardtail or have a Floyd Rose. It's pretty much Ibanez is, always in between, is it?
Yes. Yeah. We're constantly trying to. There was a while there.
Do both worlds. Yeah.
Where it seemed like we were putting tremolo bridges on almost everything, but it seems like the momentum has swung back the other way now. That there's a lot of players who just want a hardtail and keep it simple.